Hi Leo, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. So today is your life spread reading. This will span from August straight through to December, the end of December 2016. Sorry it's a little bit late up, have been busy as usual, and these take ages to record. I've been trying to get them down to like half an hour and they're taking like 54, 56 minutes, but it's just the way it is because I can't cut corners on readings. I try and think of every scenario going, especially when it goes to comes to a general reading. Anyway, let me talk you through how this reading is done. As I say, it's covering the next five or so months of your life. This is for Leo general, so it's sun, moon and rising signs for Leo. And how we do the life spread is we focus on 5 areas of your life over the next 5-6 months sort of thing. In the middle here we've got your personal situation. Could be what's going on now or what's coming in. The top cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are called key cards. So these are the general energies that you might be feeling around you at the moment, or they might be coming in. All right. So yeah, we've got the first section here. Section 1 is your personal situation. We're going to talk about. We've got your home life, stroke family life. We've got your career in section 3. Section 4 is your love life, and section 5 is the future. So all sections are groups of 4, and at the top of each of those groups of 4 is the key card, which represents situations or the energies, influences around you coming in or they're already here. These 3 cards at the bottom of the groups of 4, they can represent situations in the past, present, future. If that's not the case, it's going to be present, present, future, or future, future, future. But I'm going to really read this kind of just in general, like it's something that's coming in. If you recognise any of these situations from the past or in the present, then you can always drop me an email and let me know. The card in the middle here is your advice card, and this is the advice that the universe wants you to know. Okay, for the next 5 months. Now, to the right, we've got 7 cards. These are all trumps. They're all majors. I'm using them, the Oceanic Tarot majors, okay, from that particular deck of cards. And we use the majors because the majors have a great effect. We know that majors are bigger than pip cards. So the effects of a major card are far more long-lasting and far more powerful than you would have, because the majors talk about the greater things that are happening within our lives. So it's the things that have the potential to have the most and the biggest effect on us, if anything. It's the things that we need to work through. It's not just you look at pip cards and it's more day-to-day situations. The majors are more to do with long-term situations, okay? So, for example, the Empress, for example, it talks about creativity and abundance. So really having lots of wealth, lots of happiness, lots of abundance, lots of comfort, but it's on a long-term basis. It's what we can have long-term. The Empress can represent anything from, I feel, a change of hairstyle or a change of outlook or cosmetic surgery, those types of things. It's what's long-lasting. It's what's going to make your life happier in the long run. It's those types of things. We know that the majors, for example, things like judgment and death and all of those things, they can have a really long-lasting effect on you. So in the anchor area, you've got 7 cards, and each of these 7 cards will relate to an area within your life spread. So the first card we're looking at here is the Hanged Man. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But this card number 1 actually is your foundation basis. So this is really where some of you guys might be feeling in your lives right now. But this is also the outcome card for what's happening in your personal life, potentially. All right, card number 2 is Judgment. In the Oceanic Tarot, it's called self-reflection, really. And this is the outcome for what should be happening within your career. The love life is the Sun, happiness, and this is what should come about as an overall thing from your love life. We've got abundance showing as your overall outcome for the future. And for your home life, sorry, I didn't mention that one, we've got Temperance. which is called the Angel of the Ocean healing, which should be the overall outcome for your home life. And then we've got card number 6, which is the King of the Ocean. This is actually the Emperor. So we've got an Empress and Emperor in the same reading, which is awesome. And this is representative of order. And this is what you're wishing for within your life through. Some of you guys might be wishing for this through all areas or some areas of your life. The interesting card that showed up as the overall outcome, where everything is heading, is the Moon. Illusion. Alright, so this is where everything should be heading. Or the overall outcome for all areas. And I can see in a way why. For some areas of your life. I don't feel that that card relates to everything, but I certainly feel that it will relate to some areas of your life. So we're going to get started on the reading. I'm really going to try and cut this down a little bit because I've got a load more of these readings to try and get through, as well as all the personals as well. So we need to kind of try and I need to be a little bit more succinct, but it's hard because I like to talk and I like to kind of just be as thorough as I can. So it's really, really difficult for me just to say this and this, let's turn over to the next. It's difficult. So these readings anyway, you can have as a personal reading on the website if you're ever interested in investing in a personal reading on your life spread. We're going to start off with where you are potentially right now. Leo, and the Hanged Man shows up for potentially where you are right now, how you might be feeling. You know, the Hanged Man isn't my most favourite card in the deck. In some ways it is, and in some ways it isn't, because the Hanged Man in the one way can say, it's an ambiguous card in a way, because on the one hand it can say, you know, you need to try and look at things from a different point of view. Also, it could be that you're having to make some form of a sacrifice on where you are now in order to gain something better in the future. So if you look at the guy hanging upside down, he's sacrificed his stability, because when we stand upright, it means that we're stable. We have 2 legs. I know it's a mermaid, but it doesn't really matter. It's only because it's going with the ocean theme in the particular deck. But you know, as a whole, the Hanged Man, we're not going to talk about the major arcana in conjunction what the booklet says. I just used it because I like the artwork. But, you know, in general, for me, the Hanged Man, if he were to be loosed or loosened from this rope that hangs him upside down, he'd stand upright. And everything would be kind of normal. And in a way, stability would be reclaimed for this guy. He'd no longer be hanging with blood rushing to his head and having to look at the world from a completely different perspective. But in some ways, I guess the Hanged Man is a necessary evil, because what the Hanged Man does is it allows us to sacrifice our own stability in order to create something that is far more beneficial to us in the long run. So sometimes you'll get this card show up when it says that there is a major obstacle that is coming to you. But even though it looks like it's an obstacle now, you'll soon see in the long run that it was a necessary evil. It needed to happen because it needed you to have the time to look at your world and look at how you're doing things in a far more different way than how you've been doing it. Sometimes when we do things consistently that don't test us and don't stretch us, it means that we don't learn and we don't experience, and it means that we don't get the best out of the situation that we could have done. So I feel that for some of you guys, you might be feeling in limbo at the moment. You might be feeling that life may have come to a standstill. The Hanged Man can often mean that things have come to a standstill or something is up in suspension. So it might be for some of you guys, whenever we feel the Hanged Man, it's not a nice feeling, because it means that you don't really know whether you're coming or going. And for some of you guys, you might not know whether you're coming and going. For some of you guys, it might be that you've had a major adjustment, a major change, because the Hanged Man actually refers to major changes as far as I'm concerned, because the guy is no longer stable. So usually for me, when the Hanged Man shows up in a reading, it means the lack of stability. It means that your world has been turned upside down. There has been something that you have had to sacrifice or relinquish in order to move on to something else. So I feel that for some of you guys, there could be some major adjustments that you are having to get used to, that you are having to deal with at the moment. It might be uncomfortable. For example, the Hanged Man for me can relate to things like, it's just like any card, Wheel of Fortune, Death, all those cards that talk about Wheel of Fortune is not a sacrificial card, but death can be a sacrificial card, because we can do, you know, the death card is something that we can do. We can bring in a massive, massive change, and we might have to sacrifice something on that, and it might be uncomfortable. So for some of you guys, you might, you know, you might have given up smoking, you might have given up drinking, you might have given up a certain pattern of behaviour, you might have had to sacrifice something in your world that was giving you a false sense of security, but really it wasn't, and now it's time to abandon those things, no matter how uncomfortable they are, in order to do something a little bit different. But really, to me, the Hangman says for some of you guys, yes, there are things that I might be hanging in suspension. You might be facing some major adjustments, some sacrifices you might have had to make. You might have had to let certain things go within your life that you probably felt were very uncomfortable. You've probably held on to for a certain amount of time. It can be anything. The Hangman can mean I have to let go of an idea that I thought was going to give me something, but it's not. So I have to kind of find the courage to let go of that and look at something in a completely different way, or how I can kind of get something in a different way. So if you've always done what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got, okay? And especially that saying can be rather negative when it means that you never get what you want, because you're always doing things in the same way. So the Hangman really says, well, maybe you need to try it another way and see if you can be successful in that way. So I do feel that whether it's literally feeling that your life has come to a standstill, or whether you're just taking a pause to see whether things can change within your world, you're doing things differently, or you're trying to look at things differently, or just simply that situations are hanging in the balance. I feel certain areas of whatever I've said there might be relating to some of you Leo guys, Sun, Moon and Rising. Your cards, the personal situation that relates to the outcome of this card is ruled by the Nine of Pentacles. So this is your key card for your personal area. Now the Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful card, and one of the focal points about this card is somebody who lives in a gilded cage. Now when you do tarot, I love the tarot to the bottom of my bones. I read about it every day, I watch videos on it every day, I write stuff down about it every day, just looking at the cards. I've got over 30 decks so far. I'm looking to buy more. It's important as a tarot reader, if you're looking to get into it, Leo, that you always try and look at things in a different way with the cards, because you'll always find that there's something new to see, especially on the Rider-Waite, which is why this is the primary deck that I always use for my readings. So there's other decks that I could use, but there's nothing like the Rider-Waite. The Rider-Waite is where it's at. Simple as that. It's the best deck as far as I'm concerned, just for its imagery. It's just clearer than any other deck I've got, which is why you see I always use it besides anything else. And with the Nine of Pentacles, you know, when I look at this card, it's a lady who is dressed very fine, beautiful, beautiful clothing, just gorgeous. And if you notice with this card, she has one hand on a pentacle and one hand that's raised up. She's got a falcon, and she's got a falcon's glove on that protects her hand. So she, as I always say now with this card, this person is very specialised. They might do a specialised thing, so they might specialise in something. But also, if we were to look at the deeper meaning for me with this card, it's about someone who is so used to a certain way of being. So to specialise in something means that it would be very difficult to give up on something that you'd specialised in. So if you had trained for years and years and years as a doctor, and you were earning good money through it, which can be this card as well, obviously, because it's the card where you have trained and you have specialised in a particular art or a particular job, and you're really skilled at doing it, and it's earning you money at the same time. So you're really abundant with this thing. So in a way, this card is the card number one of the Gilded Cage, where you are so used to a certain type of life that it would be very difficult to look at living your life in any other way. And you become so used to this that you get to a point where you don't see anything else than what it is that you earn money from, or what it is that you do. Now, even though this is a pentacle, it doesn't have to refer to pentacles, because it can refer to a house move as well. So we're going to have a look at this card in two ways. The first way I feel that we could look at this card is that some of you guys might be so used to what you do, and it's earning the money, and there might be, I always follow the Nine of Pentacles as well. I've heard some tarot readers say it's not their most favourite card in the deck because they can see the kind of macabre side of the card where you can get yourself really caught up in a certain pattern of behaviour. And though I would relate the number 8 more in the tarot to patterns of behaviour, you know, you get things like the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles especially. Those cards kind of have this resounding theme for me of being caught up in something and just going round and round and round and round with it. I feel that the Nine of Pentacles is kind of that same card because it's almost like this lady doesn't need anyone or anything. She's got her falcon business there that earns her money, and I think it is a falcon business that she runs, and she's very, very, because she's in nature as well. And where do you fly falcons? Out in nature. She's not in a house with a falcon, so it's not for me. This falcon isn't kind of like a little bit of a nice piece for her to look at. It's something that she actually does to earn her money. So she's and she enjoys it, and she's, you know, she's living a very indulgent life because of her business and what she does. So she sees, in a way, no reason for change. All the change she needs, i.e. money, is right there with her and everything. But there's almost a false sense of security with this card. And I feel that the energy that's coming in for you is, you know, are you willing to change a certain area of your life in a way with that card? And I feel that some of you guys will be at that point where, even though you've achieved a lot in terms of your personal life, Leo, I do feel that this card also says, you know, when you look at number 9, they're about things that get really old, okay? So they're about, this can be a middle-aged lady, for example. I'm not saying you middle-aged ladies are old at all. But what I am saying is that they're about situations that have got to a point that they need change because they're number 9s, and nines represent success and completion a lot of the time, especially the word completion. So it's where a number 9 will say, you know, I'm coming to a point now where something is wrapping up for me. It's because it's ruled by the Hermit card. And the Hermit card says, I'm old, I'm withered, and I've come to a point of where I've really been trying to achieve this wisdom before I pass into the next phase of the world and I come round again, you know. So, not the world, sorry. What's after the Hermit? After the Hermit is Wheel of Fortune. So before I change cycles again, I'm getting to that point now where I've understood and I've learnt everything I need to learn about the certain situation that I've been living in for quite a while. Underneath this, and that's interesting because I feel that some of you guys, you are going to be coming to a point of completion in terms of you've done everything that you can do where you are and what you're doing, and you will be getting that feeling of, I do need some change coming in, because we've got the Chariot. Now, excuse me, the Chariot is again another twofold card, because on the one hand this card can mean you move forward. It means moving forward, movement. It means to travel literally by car. So for some of you guys, you might be, this could be the change card then. So it could be that you are coming into a time of abundance, all right? You might be changing location with this Nine of Pentacles, because we do see the Chariot. And remember, when you get the energy, the key card energy, what this says is this energy relates to all 3 cards. So because we're going to be doing future, 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 if some of you can relate these energies to the past, fair enough. But we're doing everything in future forward, really, just to make it easier with the reading. I see a trip or a journey some of you guys are going to be taking. All right? So I feel that if you've gone through a time of feeling, especially financially or creatively, at a loss. Do you see what I mean? Like you might have felt for a time, I don't really know where I am, or I don't know, you know, I'm not at the point where I feel that I got financial freedom. This card only goes part way to financial freedom. It's not complete financial freedom. I'm a Nine of Pentacles lady. Okay, so I'm single and I do well with my business. But do I have financial freedom to say, I'm going to be taking 4 weeks off and I'm going to go to the Bahamas and I don't need to worry about anything? Well, no, I don't. I don't have that freedom. I've got freedom in terms of I earn well, I'm able to pay my bills, live my life, be creative at the same time, you know, route out my day You know, if I want to go for a coffee, I can go for a coffee. If I want to go and see people, I can go and see people. But I don't have 100% freedom. So this isn't the card about having 100% freedom. It can be, especially if you're somebody who's retired. But it's also, in terms of its gilded cage connotations, it means you're not 100% free because you're tied to a certain pattern of being. For some of you guys, this energy will be coming in for you. Not the energy of being in a gilded cage, but the energy of abundance. All right? And around this, we're seeing that you're moving forward. There's progress being made. So it might be a trip. It might be a change. Because we are seeing an Ace of Cups showing here as well. So for some of you guys, it could be travelling. And it could be progress is being made towards a new beginning that offers great potential or potential for growth. So if I were to look at the cards in that way, I would say there is some change happening in your personal situation in which you might be looking to change at where you are right now, in terms of, especially if it's a work-related thing. If it's something to do with changing home, and it might be to do with moving home, because the Nine of Pentacles can mean a new environment that you move to. It can mean the keys to a new home. Okay, it can mean that you move to a more luxurious place. And so therefore we could see how the Chariot would mean progress. And the Ace of Cups would mean a new beginning, a fresh start. And the Ace of Wands would mean the potential for growth. So it's progress towards a new start that offers growth. Or progress towards a fresh start with the potential of growth. Okay. So we could look at it in two ways. This energy could say, that's coming in for you, is that you're entering a time of real abundance. But the energy could also say, you're entering a time where you've done everything that you can do or that you've wanted to do. If you're older and you're looking at this reading, it might be that you're looking to move to a retirement village, if that makes any sense to you. And we can see that there is the trip being taken to this fresh start that offers the potential for something new and exciting to open up to you. All right? And for some of you guys, it might be, yes, you're looking at something new here with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, you're looking for abundance, and there is the progress made towards this fresh start around that. That will offer the potential for growth. But why is it that the overall outcome shows the Hanged Man? Because that's where it's heading. It's heading to limbo. So for some of you guys, it might be that you're looking to move to a retirement village, if you're old enough and you're watching this. Or you're looking to retire, potentially. And it could be that the outcome is saying, well, there'll be a major adjustment here for you. And it might be that you feel in limbo. You're like, okay, so I've retired now, shit, what do I do now? Because this is what the Hanged Man can mean. It just means everything hangs in suspense. We're kind of just waiting and hanging on and nothing is really moving. All right? It's really funny that we should have an outcome card that shows limbo. For some of you guys, it might be that you're procrastinating on something here. If you already run a very successful business, Leo, or you have a very successful job that gives you really good income, it might be that you're conflicted over an offer, because the Chariot is not just progress, but it's also the card that says, I'm in two minds, or I'm being pulled in two directions. It's like anything, like the Two of Wands, two direction cards, you know, Two of Pentacles, up and down. Temperance, trying to work out. Do you see what I mean? It's like any of those cards. And when you get a Chariot, usually it's to do with inner turmoil or feeling conflict. You're being pulled in two directions. It's that you know exactly what it is that you want to do, but you're still pulled apart by, should I do this or should I do that? So I feel for some of you guys, there is, it's really funny how we have this Nine of Pentacles as the general energy, because it could mean loads of things to me. Your general energy is going to be abundance and success within the next 5 months. But there's a decision to make around this, because an offer is coming in for you with that Ace of Cups that promises some form of potential here with the Ace of Wands. And I feel that some of you guys might be conflicted on that because the overall outcome is limbo. So it means that you don't really make a decision because you're just not sure. You're just not sure. Maybe some of you guys have created this already. I've got a feeling some of you guys probably have created this safety net already, this security, this stability with that. And as I said at the beginning of the video, it looked to me, sometimes with the Nine of Pentacles, that we are in a gilded cage and we are frightened to make those changes. So therefore the Chariot would say, well, I'm conflicted. I'm comfortable here, but I'm conflicted to move out of it because I've been offered a fresh start somewhere else. And with the Future being the Ace of Wands, it has really good potential. But I'm conflicted because of this. So therefore, the outcome would be limbo. I'm not sure. I'm in limbo over this. My hands feel like they're tied. On the one hand, I want the fresh start, but on the other hand, I'm kind of comfortable where I am at the moment, potentially. Let's have a look at your other area. Let's have a look at the career. So again, we've got a very contemplative card going on here as your key card, the Hermit. For some of you guys, you might work on your own, okay? You might work on your own and you might have got used to. It's funny how we've got two number 9s showing up in the top of the reading, Leo. But for some of you guys, you might, the energy coming in or the energy that you're feeling around your work is, again, with the Hermit, it can mean I'm seeking some form of clarity around a situation because I just don't know. And I feel that in terms of work, some of you guys might be feeling restless, and maybe it does tie up with the personal situation here. Because the Hermit can mean to feel restless because he's still seeking answers. It can mean maybe you've been at a particular workplace for a very, very long time and it's grown really tiresome and weary, and maybe you're searching for something new. And around this, we do have the Ace of Pentacles. So there's an offer coming in for you guys. Ace of Pentacles suggests a new work offer. All right. For some of you guys, it could be, again, that you're running your own business, or, you know, you're a contractor or something like that. And it might be that with the Hermit, you have endured a time of difficulty, probably some financial difficulty even, in which you've been trying to find a solution to. We do see an offer of money, Ace of Pentacles. Because you're Leo, you're King of Wands, so there you sit right there. King of Wands represents a Leo energy, and you're facing the money. Now, when you get a King of Wands, he is determined, ambitious, and motivated. He's also a very inspired character, so he jumps on anything that his inspiration tells him to. Okay, there's no time in a way to go for intuition a lot of the time with the King of Wands, because he's pure fire. You know that all kings are rooted in fire, so even if you have a King of Cups, he'll still be rooted in fire, while the King is double Wands, is double fire, because his element is fire, and yet he's ruled by fire. Okay, so all queens are ruled by the water, and all queens are ruled by water, and kings are fire, and he's double fire, so he's more geared up, he's more passionate to do something. He's ruled by his passions, and this guy is ruled by his passions when he faces the Ace of Pentacles. So he's inspired probably to take this, and I feel that something comes to you and you're inspired to take it. I think it's financial though. I get that feeling that it is definitely financial. The outcome though is the Devil, and the Devil as an outcome for me says that you will be jumping from the frying pan into the absolute fire, because the Devil says restrictions. And the Devil says you could be letting yourself in for more than you had anticipated if you don't look at this offer properly. You know, if it was another card that was facing him and not the King of Wands, I probably would, if it was a King of Cups, Queen of Cups, for example, I know that this would be fine. But the King of Wands, though he's a clever guy, he's also ruled by what makes him feel revved up, whether that's sex, whether that's females, whether that's money, whether that's business, whatever it is that makes him feel excited, that's what he'll go for. Okay, and we can see that money is being offered to you here. You can see the direction, because we're doing it all future, future. We're not doing past, present, future. We're doing future, future, future. So I feel that there'll be an offer of money here towards the King of Pentacles that results in some form of control. All right, so I feel it's almost like in terms of your work, you're going to be putting a very compromised position here, I feel, if you don't look properly at what you're taking. This can be a contract. Ace of Pentacles can be contracts, even though we'd usually see probably Page of Pentacles as being contract. This can be a contract, I feel, as well. Okay, remember the aces represent potentials and the seeds. So usually the Ace of Pentacles would be a small amount of money though, which is funny. It's not a huge amount of money, but it probably could be huge because we're seeing a hand facing you. So there's an offer of something facing you, but the problem is in the future it leads to the devil. So it leads probably to something you can't get out of. So with the devil, the problem with that card is what looks good on the surface is not so good underneath. That is the problem with the devil card. What looks good outside is not good inside, because we know that the devil can present situations and, you know, and environments to us that look amazing. So there's just too much temptation. Now, I could say money, an offer of money will be made to a Leo, and the outcome will be temptation. So you'll be tempted to go for it with that devil card. But the devil for me is never really a good idea. Okay, the outcome could be the future could be you'll be tempted to take it, because the devil means temptation as well. However, we could look at this reading in a different way. We really could, funnily enough. And as a reader, you always should be open to all sorts of sayings. Because if I were to read this in a negative sense, the devil is not always negative. It depends on what... It's not my most favourite card, but it can be looked at in a very positive light as well. So if your energy is the Hermit, and the Hermit says, as a key card, or as a key influence that you're experiencing or coming in, that you are trying to find a solution, which is what the Hermit card says. When you get a Hermit, it's like, shit, I don't know. I'm trying to find the solution. I'm trying to find the best way forward in a situation. So it's to do with your career, right? And for some of you guys, you might not be in a job, the Hermit. All right? And it might be that you are searching for a job, which that Hermit card can mean. So therefore, for some of you guys, if you are searching for a job, you're going to get one in the next 5 months, because the Ace of Pentacles says there is an offer that is made which you are definitely inspired to take, or there is an offer that is made to the Leo. The outcome will be temptation, or being tempted to take it. And therefore, the overall outcome, or the way everything is heading, is to judgment. Now, judgment can mean that if you've been going through a time, I feel, with this Hermit card, where things might have been a bit quiet in terms of work. Maybe there's nothing on the table. Maybe you haven't got any contracts that have come in. Maybe you've been let go from a job and now you're searching in the papers and on the internet desperately for something else. The Hermit really is just a searcher. So you're searching for something. The Judgment card in the overall then can say, well, you've been offered something here. Ace of Pentacles. We can see it's being offered directly towards you, Leo. And you'll be tempted to take it with the devil. Well, it could offer you release, because the overall outcome is judgment. It means that you come out of this stage of the Hermit. You're released from the search now. It means suddenly you've got what you wanted. Because the Judgment card sees the dead rising to the sound of a trumpet. So if we looked at the Hermit and said that he was kind of in the death state as he's searching for the job. There's no real activity with work, but he's searching for it. He gets offered the job. We can see the Ace of Pentacles facing you. It's a very tempting offer. And you go for it. It could say that you're released from a very difficult stage in your life. Probably from a stage of feeling, shit, how am I going to have money to pay my bills? Shit, I lost my job and now I've got to, I've got to take care of the family, that type of thing. So it can mean that there's release coming for you in the overall outcome with judgment. Because the overall outcome with judgment says it's rebirth and it's a new beginning. So there's a new beginning for some of you guys in terms of career. For some of you, however, especially if you are in business for yourself and you're probably looking to expand or something like that, whatever the case might be, and it might be that somebody offers money to you. The future of this career will be the devil. And that can mean maybe you've bitten off more than you can chew. Maybe you've bound yourself or you've signed something that you can't get out of with the judgment, with the devil card. And therefore the outcome with judgment would mean self-reflection. I need to look back at what I did. I might even be regretting what I did, if that makes any sense. Because I made a mistake. It's the wake-up call card. So it might be that the outcome is that you have a wake-up call. And that wake-up call says to you, I wish I hadn't done that. So I feel in one way, shape or form, you know, this reading is really saying for career, just make sure that you look into everything that comes to you properly, rather than doing something that you could regret later. Okay, for some of you guys it will be fine. There's rebirth coming in terms of work. There might have been a time of real quiet and suddenly you're about to enter into a phase of things really taking off and being really quite busy. For some of you guys, it could be that you take an offer and it leads to the devil. And that devil can also mean, well, you're feeling quite stifled in your job, in this new job that you've taken. And therefore the need is for judgment to make a big decision on it, because you need to reflect on what you've done and to kind of just wake up and smell the coffee. So I hope that makes sense to you. Let's have a look at your home life. Let's have a look how we're doing for time. Right. So your home life is showing the Two of Pentacles as your general energy coming in or around you at the moment. And it shows that some of you guys are really trying to balance quite a bit up. You know, when you get the Two of Pentacles, it's one of those odd cards. It can mean that things are up and down. It can mean that you are trying to swim against the tide in terms of money. It can mean you've got two jobs on the go. It can mean that you're trying to keep your head above water. It can mean that you're happily just sort of, you know, juggling and you know, making the best of what you have. Around this, which is interesting, is we have the Nine of Cups. So why do we have the Nine of Cups showing for that Two of Pentacles? Well, the energy is the Two of Pentacles in your home life, which shows juggling. Then the Nine of Cups around this, coming in. Nine of Cups usually means that you've made an achievement in something. You're feeling quite smug. Maybe you're feeling quite proud of the way that you've been able to kind of organise things within the family. I feel for some of you guys, when I really look at these cards, that the control lies with you in terms of the family finances, perhaps. The responsibility to make sure that everything runs right in terms of your home life and your family. And maybe there's some friction around this, because we've got a Five of Swords showing up. When you get the Five of Swords, it means jealousy. Maybe somebody, it sounds weird that this would happen in a family situation or a home life, that somebody would be jealous or pissed off that you're able. This Five of Swords looking directly at that Nine of Cups. So it would be really weird that do you know what I feel? Let me read this in another way. I don't feel it's saying that. I feel that you have been trying to work out how to manage stuff within your home stroke family life. Two of Pentacles is your energy. And I feel that it's through being sensible and being responsible that you're able to do that, Leo. So whether it's being sensible with your money, being sensible with how you play things, how you do things in terms of your family life, I feel that it's the order of the day is being really quite responsible with what you have. I feel that this leads to feeling quite smug and happy and feeling a sense of achievement with that Nine of Cups, which means that you overcome possibly any doubts that you've had with the Five of Swords. Because the Five of Swords doesn't always have to mean outer conflict, it can mean inner conflict. Because the swords represent ideas and thoughts, this guy has found a way to overcome his negative thinking. So I feel that it's, this Two of Pentacles says, I am finally getting things on an even keel within my home life, finances, work, that type of thing. I'm feeling a sense of achievement with the Nine of Cups. Because I've overcome my self-doubt that I could do this with the Five of Swords, which sees me leading to victory within the Six of Wands in the outcome. So I feel that there was something perhaps within the family, within the home, that was really kind of troubling some of you guys. But I feel that you have found a way to sort it out, to work it through. And it has led to you feeling far more confident and happier in terms of the way that the family and the home is being run. And it could be relating to anything. It could be relating to fighting kids. It could be relating to putting food on the table. Maybe for some of you guys, you've gone and got a second job, because the Two of Pentacles can sometimes mean that you're juggling two jobs. And maybe that's what's giving you the satisfaction here, because you're overcoming problems that you were having here, which has led to victory here, Six of Wands. Your outcome shows as the Temperance card, healing, which is wonderful. Because what this says is that whatever has been, and it's interesting how we've got that Temperance card showing as the outcome for your home life, because it says that things are back on an even keel, things are being balanced. Whatever that was causing you issues within the family life, and I feel that there were issues being caused here, but you have managed to kind of rein everything in and bring everything into order. And it really has brought a sense of feeling far more balanced now with this card here, the Angel of the Ocean. We can see that the two cups are pretty much level, or they're nearly there. So I feel that you've really had to overcome some difficulty within the home area for some of you Leo people. But you've overcome it through strategy, clever thinking, and also being highly responsible. In your love life, Leo, let's have a look how we're doing for time. That's fine. We do have betrayal showing up here. This could have been a past situation. Okay, but I don't feel that you're completely over it for some reason. Love life, that's interesting. It's interesting to see. When we see the Ten of Swords is often the card of feeling stabbed in the back. And when it comes to love with the Ten of Swords, often it means that somebody has betrayed you, they've hurt you, you're feeling very disappointed by a situation. You may have given up on a situation, okay? But I don't feel for some of you guys you've truly given up on something here. I feel that it's made you feel, just looking at that, we've got two sword cards here, and both sword cards mean restriction in one way, because this guy can't get up and this girl can't move out. Okay, so it's almost like there is something that still presses on you here. Around this Ten of Swords energy, we have the Three of Cups, which I thought was really interesting. And sometimes as a reader, there are cards that will stump you together, especially if they're completely at different poles of the different poles. You know, Ten of Swords and Three of Cups are completely two different cards. But I guess that certain things can influence certain things. And we've got real defeat here for you guys, or feeling that you've given up potentially with love. Around this seems to be support. The Three of Cups must be the support that you're receiving from friends for some of you guys. Now, if you're not experiencing this, for some of you it might come up, but it's only if the writing's on the wall in a way, if you can see that type of thing heading in that direction. If your relationship is completely happy, Leo, please don't write back to me and say, how could you say this? It's a tarot reading, so whether your relationship is going to break up or not, it would make no difference. There is destruction here, and there is a sense of giving up on love here. But you have support that comes in here. Friendships. But I almost feel that you don't listen to what people have to say to you, because we've got the Eight of Swords here. And remember, we're not doing past, present, future. We're doing just all future, future, future. I can see support coming in for you around this Ten of Swords. But it's almost like you don't listen. Because if you look at this girl, her ears are closed, her ears are covered as well as her eyes. She doesn't want to see, she doesn't want to know. She'd rather stay in this prison that she has formulated for herself. So I just get the sense that there is a self-imposed prison, especially mentally, that some of you guys might have around a relationship that has hurt you in the past. Or the idea that you may have given up on love and you're not willing to... I do feel that for some of you guys, you might either be going out or it might be friendships, people that are there to support you and help you and give you the love that you need. But for some of you guys, it seems that you're not wanting to hear this or see it. Because this happiness leads to restriction or sadness or mental torture. So with the Seven of Wands, you fight off any further interest, or you deny others, or you deny any other attention for some reason. You're not interested in any further attention in terms of love for some of you guys. That's the only way I'm looking at these cards at the minute. Not because I'm up against it time-wise, but there's, you know, it's funny in your love section how we should have one really good card here, the Three of Cups. But it's under the umbrella of this Ten of Swords, which I can only think, well, if there's been some hurt and pain incurred here, then around this we have celebration. But I can't think it's celebration. I can only think it's support from friends. However, I feel that as a result of this support, you don't really want to know, you're not really listening, because you're still stuck in the pain. Which means that you may fight off what everybody else is saying to you. Or you might fight off the potential for other interests or other people that might show you interest. Because I feel that some of you Leos might still be stuck in some form of painful situation in terms of love. And it's one that you can't kind of move yourself out of at the minute and going forward. You might be saying no to future relationships with that Seven of Wands energy in the future. But what's interesting is that the overall outcome of where this is heading is the Sun. And that's a lovely outcome card because it says that this won't last forever. This is the beauty of using the anchor cards, because even though this looks like a fairly negative situation going on here, Leo, it does say in the outcome it won't last forever, because there will be happiness in your future overall. That's where everything is heading. There's going to be happiness here. Real happiness. So even if things are looking a bit dire in the love stakes at the moment, the overall outcome you'll be feeling happier again. Far more positive. At the moment you might be fighting off feelings, or you might be fighting the idea that you're ever going to be involved again with anyone. But I do feel that in the outcome, overall, this will dispel after a certain amount of time. And also, just to think back to your career reading, we do see the Hermit thinking. New offer is made to you. The Devil as an outcome could mean this is really hard work that's involved. And the Judgment card can say also, well, yes, there is a new offer of money or help or support or a job. You will be inspired to take it. The outcome will be that you're probably biting off more than you can chew. There's a lot of work that's involved in this. But the outcome with Judgment will be, well, it will give you a new lease on life, potentially, even though there's lots of hard work involved. The final card we're going to look at is the Future card, which was the most interesting for me. Where are we? We're fine. Seven of Swords shows as your general energy in the future. I feel that there will be some deceit around you in the future. It could be to do with money. Okay. I do feel this could be to do with some sort of theft, but not in a bad way, not of your property or anything like that. Okay. For some of you guys, it could be that you are looking to try and get away with something, or try and stave something off for as long as you can while you work out how you're going to solve a problem. Because it doesn't have to be that somebody's being deceitful with you. It can be that you're being deceitful, but it's not in a bad way. Sometimes for me this card can mean I'm going to try and get away with something. So whether it's you owe rent and you haven't got the money, you speak to the landlord and you say, you know what, bloody hell, I've lost my cash point card or my ATM card. You know, the bank's going to send it to me in a week. Can you wait a week and I'll pay you rent there. So it's almost like you're trying to hold something up in the future here as well. And that could be because the energies is that you're waiting for something to come in. When you get the Three of Wands, you've invested in something and you're still waiting for that investment to come in. Whatever it is that you're waiting on, though, is leading to loss Five of Pentacles. So it could be that you're waiting on something here and it doesn't come through. So therefore there might be a loss incurred with this Five of Pentacles. However, at the 11th hour, the outcome card seems to be the Knight of Swords, and we can see the Knight of Swords is saving the day here. So there is a swift change or a sudden change in your fortunes, I feel. Okay, now it could be that there might be theft. Who knows? I'm not saying there is at all. Not at all. But it could be that there's a little bit of deceit here. And around this, it could be that you have been waiting for something to come back to you that you've invested in. All right, so you might just be feeling or letting your ideas run away with you, which is Seven of Wands. Swords can be that somebody has stolen someone or somebody's not being honest with you. All right, so it could be with this Three of Wands around that Seven of Swords energy that whatever this deceit is or thievery or whatever it is that you think's going on here, it's because you've been waiting for something to come back to you that you've invested in. Could be money, could be anything. But it leads on to you feeling that you don't have, or that you've lost money, or that you've lost what you've invested, because we've got that Five of Pentacles. However, the outcome is that there is a sudden change that comes in. Something suddenly comes in for you. So where you thought that all was lost, something suddenly comes in with that Knight of Swords. Because Knight of Swords means sudden, quick. Okay? And the outcome card for your future is the Queen of the Ocean. Abundance. When you get the Queen of the Ocean, the Empress, it means that your creative endeavours, your creative input will be rewarded. Okay? It will be rewarded. Whatever it is that you've been, whatever it is, whether it's a project or an investment that you've made, whatever you've put your time into, it will be rewarded. Okay? You will get it back. So even if it's a case of that you might feel that somebody has taken advantage because you've been waiting for an investment to come back to you, something that you've invested in some time ago with those two wands, and now the third one says, well, I'm waiting for this thing to come back now. Which results in the Five of Pentacles, probably feeling that there is no way to contact someone around this, or you're having problems because you're waiting so long with this Three of Wands energy. You're feeling here, well, I'm being shut out in the cold, so you don't really know what the hell's going on with this situation. But you might receive some sudden information, because the Knight of Swords can mean sudden information, a quick email that arrives unexpectedly, so some unexpected information comes to you. So just as you've given up, I feel there's something that happens in the future for some of you guys that you happen to give up on, or you feel all is lost, or something is lost, but I believe it's not lost. And I believe that there'll be an unexpected message or something unexpected that comes to you. And that's why the overall outcome for your future is abundance. Whatever it is that you'll have invested in that you thought wasn't going to come about, it will come about, okay? But it just has, you're just going to need to be patient. Your overall advice card is the Four of Swords, and that is really for me to get plenty of rest, and also to think things through properly. All right, think about how you do things. There's a lot of time that you're going to need to focus on yourself and your own inner reflection. Okay, and also there is a time I feel over the next 5 months that you're going to need to focus on your own spiritual worth and self-value as an individual. Okay, where there isn't a fight, don't create one. All right, but I think this is more about thinking things through with this Four of Swords as your advice card. Taking time out to think things through properly in terms of your life. Because what you're wishing for is order in your life, the King of the Ocean, the Emperor. You're looking to build up stability and security around you, Leo, over the next 5 months. And you will get there as long as you don't rush into things, and as long as you think things through properly. And as long as you do things or as long as you don't say no to things because you fear them, rather than you really feel that you've thought it through and it's not right for you. So it's about not rushing into things, but also at the same time not giving up on things because there is fear there, instead of genuine concern. And the overall outcome is the moon. And when you get the moon, it's about allowing our fears to create illusions around us, which I feel can tie in with a lot of areas, especially your personal life area, and also your future area, and also your love area. The moon is one of those cards. It can be very, very dodgy, and it can be where you've just built so much up on what you don't know and created something real. And I really feel that the onus is, the overall outcome will be the moon, and that for some of you, within some areas of your life, you won't have looked at things properly or in depth in order to make a structured and viable decision on something here in your life. And I feel that that is what is needed overall over the next 5 months. Okay. If you don't know something, then find out. But don't jump to conclusions, which this moon card can often be representative of. I don't feel it's relating to overall any sort of deep love shit, to be honest with you, with this reading. I really feel that it deals with the way that you guys are thinking over the next 5 months, and that you need to be realistic about your aims and also honest with yourself as to why you are doing things or not doing things. What are your motives? Just having a look at how we're doing for time. Okay, I'm going to have to wrap this up. I'd like to say more about this outlook, overall outlook with the moon card, the illusion card, but I can't because we're going to run over time then. But yeah, that's your reading. That's your life spread for the next 5 months, Leo. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on this reading. Your next reading will be your September 2016 reading. But in the meantime, thank you for your time and have a great day. Bye-bye.